because I didn't believe it myself, right? I tell you what, I don't believe it. I was teaching Tai Chi in Vancouver, right? And a fat lady comes in. So I take a piece of paper, I said, I better give this lady, to sign in, because she can lose some weight. She is very fat, right? But when I went near to him, and she gave me a hug, I said, hey Victor, I said, this is the first time we met in this lifetime. Oh, my hair started standing up. And I was thinking in my mind, right? I said, this woman is a little bit weird, right? Because he told me this is the first time I met in this lifetime. That is Elaine Bushfield. Elaine Bushfield, right? I think she is still alive. She's about 100 over now. Anyway, then she said, oh, you go and finish your Tai Chi. Then after that, I finished the Tai Chi. I said, what can I help you? And then she said to me, the master wants me to teach you the last technique. So I said, what's a special technique? Because I did Tai Chi, I did meditation, I did Qigong, right? She said, last technique. And she told me, he said, I teach you the last technique of soul travel. You come out of your body and you go anywhere in the world, right? I said, this woman must be a little bit cuckoo, right? Anyway, after 1 week, I never phoned her, right? Because I think she is funny in the head. Then 2 weeks passed. Then she called me and said, hey Victor, you chicken now, huh? She said, tonight you come to my place for dinner and I teach you the technique. And she is very open. So I went to her house in Burnaby, right? For dinner. So after dinner, after an hour, she said, let's sit down a few minutes. I'm going to teach you the technique. So I sat down like that. And then he said, say these two sounds. So you breathe in and hum. So hum. Keep saying like that, right? And I said, oh, that is easy. So I go like that, close my eyes a bit, and I say so hum, right? After about 5 minutes, I feel my body swaying like that. Swaying from left to right. Not backward and forwards, left to right. Then I open my eyes, right? And I'm not moving. I said, shit, I'm not moving. How come I feel there's a sway? You know what she said to me? Come on, Victor, just relax. Just breathe in slowly and keep saying that you're coming out. Because when you are coming out, you are like a caterpillar coming out from a cocoon. And it has to move a little bit to come out. Oh. After that, I said that it's less than 10 minutes, right? I hear a click here, like that. And she also knows, she said, come out. Because if you don't come out, you are still sitting inside, you're locked in your own body, catch. So when I hear that click, like that, she said, come out. So I come out and see you go through a door or jump out of the window, right? And boom, I'm up the ceiling. And she looked. She said, don't go too far. But I was amazed because I'm looking at myself sitting there very stupid like that. Right? And I also can see Elaine say, don't go too far. Just go to the grass outside and come back. Go think outside and think inside. That is thinking, not moving. He said, you think you're out of the grass and think back. So he said, do it about 10 times. So I said, boom. You think outside, outside. Think inside, inside. Outside, outside, inside. After about 10 times, right? And I said, Elaine, how do I get back? Oh, I didn't tell you that. He said, people think they cannot come back when they come out, right? It's bullshit. Anyway, he said, call yourself same name or you call yourself Victor Shim, come back and think of here. So as soon as I call my name, I get a jerk, right? And he came back, right? I said, wow, this is true now. And I start sweating. He said, you keep doing it, you'll be good. This is the last technique in your lifetime. Because I've learned lots of Qigong, lots of Tai Chi from 4 masters, right? And after that, I went home, right? I tell you what, this is my true experience. You need a teacher. Because I want to sleep, you know. As soon as I relax, boom, I'm up the ceiling. I said, oh no. I'm up the ceiling now already, you know, up the ceiling when I relax. Then I call myself to come back, right? And I want to sleep again. Boom, I'm up the ceiling. I said, oh shoot. I said, how can I sleep? You know, I'm always up the ceiling. So when I call myself back, right, I start to sit down. And I was just doing the breathing, no sound, just sit down. Until morning, right? Morning I keep looking at the clock. I don't want to wake Elaine up too early, right? I keep looking at it. I said, come on, man, I didn't sleep the whole night. It's about 7:30. So I call Elaine, you know. I call her, I say, Elaine, last night I didn't sleep a wink. I said, when I'm relaxed, I'm up the ceiling. And then she said, oh, never mind. Go back to sleep, I will lock you up. That's what she said, I'll lock you up. As if you put a lock, right? Then I went back and I lay down, I relaxed. I don't go out, I sleep. Until 2, 3 o'clock, you know. Very good sleep, right? And then I get up, I said, shoot. She said she locked me up and she can really do it, right? Then the next day, I tried myself to go out and cannot. She really locked me up, right? I cannot. I said, that's why you need a teacher. After about a month or 2 months, right? Then they phoned me, they said, Victor, are you still chicken? I said, I'm not chicken, but I cannot control. He said, this time you can control already. Because it's already about 2 months over now. He said, I unlock you, you try it. When he said that, I sit down, do the sound, so hung, boom, I'm out. I said, wow, she's a really master, right? And after that, I went back, and then she said to me, we were all together, you forget? I said, I forget. You know, she said, sit down. She comes, she put the fingers like that, right? And she put it here. Boom, I can see 3 men sitting in the cave, right? I mean the 3 East Indian, all black like charcoal, right? And then she said, I'm in the center, you're on the right, and the other one is on the left. He said, you are Chinese, I'm a Canadian, and the other one is still a charcoal, is it? Still born as an Indian, right? But she was joking, because we are so black as an Indian, that's why she says black as charcoal. After that, she can make me look back to the previous lifetime, right? And it's all correct. But the thing is, when you are psychic, you don't try to scare people, right? Because once you learn about 10 or 12 years, the latest is about 12 years, right? You can get 6 transcendental powers, right? 6 powers. But of course, you don't want the power to walk on water and show off, right? You don't want those things, right? But anyway, the best is don't want any powers, then you are good. So when you want to do the simple one, you know, you lay down like that, right? The lying down is the easiest instead of sitting, right? You start thinking of your toes, relax and think of your toes, and you say so hard like that. And you keep thinking from the toes up a little bit, up a little bit, up a little bit, you know. It takes about 10 minutes, you know, up, and it reach here. It did about 10 minutes. That's the time when you say so long, right? And when you reach here, you hear a click like that. That's the time you have to get up. Then you can go, you know.